Hello everyone. So today I'm going to explain the integral test. This test is used to check the behavior of an infinite series an. This test is applicable only when the series satisfying the following conditions. The first one is the terms of this series, they can be written as a function where this function is decreasing, continuous and positive for all n varying from 1 2 3 and so on. So you are having a series whose behavior we need to check. If we can write an the terms of this series as a function where the function is decreasing, continuous and positive, then this test says that the behavior of the series and the integral, these two are same. Behavior both of the series and the integral is same, means then the series and integral both converge and diverge together. Now what does it mean? It means that if your series is convergent, then it means if your series is convergent, it means your integral is finite. And this is true both ways, means if your integral is finite, then the series is also convergent, right? The same way, if the value of integral is infinite, then the series is divergent. So what this integral test says that you have to check the behavior of such a series whose terms are positive, decreasing, continuous, being a function. Then you can find out the value of integral. If the value of integral is finite, you will say your series is convergent, and if the value of integral is infinite, then you will say your series is divergent. Now just see with the help of an example. For example, if you consider a series 1 over n square, we have to check the behavior of this series. This is not GP, right? And by using nth term divergent test, the nth term is 1 over n square. When you find out the limit of it, it is 0 as n approaching to infinity. So in this case, we can't say the behavior of 1 over n square whether it is convergent or not. If it is non-zero, then we are sure about the behavior of this series, that this series is divergent. But if this term is going to 0, we are not sure about the behavior of the series 1 over n square whether it is convergent or not, right? But now just see, we can write this an, which is 1 over n square, being a function. This is true for all n greater than equals to 1, being a function where this function f, this is decreasing. Now why it is decreasing? Because if you find out the derivative of this, you will have this is minus 2 upon n cube, which is less than 0 for all n greater than equals to 1. So this implies your function is decreasing. Now since your function is differentiable, since we know that every differentiable function is continuous, so this function f n is continuous also. So this condition is also true. And moreover, the terms of 1 over n square, they are always strictly greater than 0 for n varying from 1 2 3 and so on. So all the terms are positive, decreasing and continuous. So we can apply integral test over this series and we can check the behavior of this series. Now you need to find out the value of this integral going from 1 to infinity. What is the value of this integral? This is n to the power minus 2 plus 1, so that will be minus 1 upon n. So when you put n to be 1, when you put n to be infinity, you will have this is 0. When you put n to be 1, you will have this is 1. Now since it is finite, since the value of integral is finite, so by using integral test, we get the series 1 over n square is convergent. So this series is convergent by using the integral test. So integral test is applicable only for those series whose terms are positive, decreasing and continuous. Then we can check the value of the integral. If the value of integral is finite, then the series is convergent, otherwise not. Just see one more example. Let's suppose we need to check the behavior of the series 1 over n, right? Again you can write an, which is 1 over n being a function. Now here all the terms are strictly greater than 0 for n varying from 1 to 3 and so on, so your sequence terms are positive. Secondly, you can find its derivative, which is minus 1 upon n square, and which is always strictly less than 0 for all n varying from 1 to 3 and so on, so your function is decreasing. And since we know that every differentiable function is continuous, right? So therefore the third condition, your fn, this is continuous. So all the conditions are satisfied, therefore we can apply integral test. So that means we need to find out the value of the integral of the function 1 by n. When you integrate this, you will have this is log n, and when you put infinity, you will get infinity. Now since the value of this integral is infinite, so this implies that the given series 1 over n is divergent, right? So whenever you have a series whose terms are positive, decreasing and continuous, you can apply integral test, and by using integral test, if the value of integral is infinite, you will say your series is divergent. So in this way we can apply the integral test. Now see the proof of the integral test. So first of all, write down the statement. Now what this theorem says, that this is called integral test. This says that let an be a sequence of positive terms. Suppose that the terms of this sequence can be written as a function where f is continuous, positive, decreasing function of n, then the series an and the integral fn both converge or diverge together. Now just see the proof. So in proof, what is given to us, given that you can write the function as the terms where this f is continuous, positive and decreasing for all n varying from 1 to 3 and so on. So we are having a function which is continuous, positive and decreasing. So now just see what the value of integral represents. You are given a function which is decreasing, continuous and positive. So let's suppose this is your first term, this is second term, this is third term, and so on. So corresponding to 1, you will have this as a function value which is f1, and that is same as that a1. Then for a2, this is your f2 which is a2. This is your f3 which is your a3. This is your f4 which is your a4, and so on. This is your fn which is same as that an, and this is your f of n plus 1 which is same as that an plus 1. Now what this represent? The integral of the function f going from 1 to n plus 1. It represents the area under this curve, right? So the area under this curve is nothing but the value of this integral. So now just see, what is this fn integral represents. This represents the area under the curve. Okay, so if you find out the area of the rectangle, this, what will be the area of this first rectangle? This is 1 into a1. So the area of first rectangle is 1 into a1. Area of second rectangle is 1 into a2. Area of third rectangle is 1 into a3, and so on. Area of this last rectangle, this is 1 into an, right? So clearly the area under the curve is less than equal to the area, the sum of the areas of these rectangles. So the value of this integral, it will be less than equals to, it will be less than equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 till up to an. And what are these? These are the sum of the areas of the rectangles, right? So the value of integral going from 1 to n plus 1 will be less than equal to the sum of the area of the first rectangle plus the area of the second rectangle plus the area of third rectangle, and so on. So we have this, call this as 1, right? Now just see again, you are given that your function is continuous and decreasing. First term corresponding to 1, you will have this as your function value. Corresponding to 2, this is a2. Corresponding to 3, this is your a3. Corresponding to n minus 1, this is your an minus 1. And corresponding to n, this is your an. Now in this case, you consider the lower rectangles. What is the area of this rectangle? This is 1 and this is a2. So length into breadth, so area of this first rectangle in the figure 2, this is your figure 1. So from the figure 1, you will have this inequality. Now from the figure 2, the area of the first rectangle is a2. The area of the second rectangle is a3 into 1, and so on. The area of the last rectangle is an into 1, right? So what is the area? a2 plus a3 and so on plus an. Clearly this value is less than or equal to the area under the curve, and that is nothing but the value of the integral going from 1 to n, right? So sum of the areas of these rectangles, clearly this is less than equal to the area under the curve. That means the value of integral 1 to n f and dn, right? Now we will add a1 to both sides. Inequality remains the same because all these terms are positive. So we can add a1 to both sides. Now call this equation as 2. So now you combine equation number 1 and equation number 2. Combine equation number 1 and equation number 2. What you have this inequality that the integral of fn going from 1 to n plus 1 is less than equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 till up to an is less than equal to integral 1 to n fn dn plus a1. Now since this inequality holds, for each n, so therefore this is true for as n going to infinity. So if you take n tending to infinity, this inequality becomes the value of integral fn dn from 1 to infinity will be less than equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus an and so on when you take n tending to infinity. Same way here, where n is approaching to infinity, so you will have this as infinity. So integrate fn with respect to n by taking the limits 1 to infinity. So our inequality becomes 1 to infinity fn dn is less than equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 and so on plus an and so on, which is less than equal to a1 plus the value of integral of fn going from 1 to infinity. So we have this inequality. So now just see from this inequality, if the value of integral is finite, then call this as star. Then from the right hand side inequality of star, this is your right hand side inequality. So from right hand side, if your integral is finite, this is finite, then adding some finite number, again this whole number is finite, and the sum of the series, the whole series is less than equal to some finite number, which implies that this series sum is finite, right? So if the value of integral is finite, then from the right hand side inequality of star, we have a1 plus a2 plus a3 and so on is less than equal to some finite number, which implies that the series an, this is convergent. However, if the limit of the integral is infinite, then from the left hand side inequality of star, this one, what we have this is infinity, right? And here you have the summation of the series. So the value of this sum of the series is greater than or equal to infinity, which implies your series an is divergent, right? So this completes the proof of the theorem that whenever the value of integral is finite, the sum of the series is less than this number, so which implies the series is convergent. And if the value of integral is infinite, the sum of this series is greater than equal to some infinite number, which implies this series is also divergent. So by integral test, the series and the value of integral and the integral both behaves alike. So this completes the proof of the Cauchy integral test. Now just see one example related to this. Let's suppose we have to check the behavior of this series where your n is varying from 1 to infinity. Now just see, we can write fn as e to the power n upon 1 plus e to the power 2n. Now clearly this function is positive because all the terms are positive, right? Secondly, this function is decreasing. Why? You find out the derivative of this. What is this derivative? This is 1 plus e to the power 2n into the derivative of e to the power n minus this as it is into the derivative of 1 plus e to the power 2n. So what you have? You have this is e to the power n plus e to the power 3n minus 2 times e to the power 3n divided by 1 plus e to the power 2n whole square. So this is, you can take e to the power n to be common, 1 minus e to the power 2n divided by 1 plus e to the power 2n whole square. Since this is positive, and 1 minus e to the power 2n, this will be clearly less than 0. This is negative for all n greater than 1. When you put n to be 1, this is e square which is greater than 1. So you will have the value, it is negative, right? So ultimately your derivative is negative, which implies your function is decreasing. Okay. Now since your function is differentiable, it means it is continuous. Since we know that every differentiable function is continuous, so which implies f is continuous also. So we can apply integral test and we can check the behavior of the series summation e to the power n over 1 plus e to the power 2n. So find out the value of the integral e to the power n over 1 plus e to the power 2n from 1 to infinity. So you will put e to the power n as t, e to the power n dn is dt, and the limits when you put n to be 1, t is e for n1, your t is e, and for n infinity your t is e to the power infinity, which is infinity. So the limits are e to infinity, e and dn, this is replaced with dt, 1 plus t square. What is the integral of 1 over 1 plus t square? It is tan inverse t. And now you put the limits. When you put infinity, you will have this is pi by 2 minus tan inverse e, which is a finite number. Now since the value of integral is finite, so by integral test what we have? We have the series e to the power n over 1 plus e to the power 2n is convergent.